On a Tuesday morning in 2022, Satya opened an email at 9:14 a.m. Subject line: Shared document, Q3 approval. It looked exactly like a Microsoft SharePoint link. He clicked. The page didn't load properly, so he closed it. 9 seconds. That was the entire interaction. He forgot about it before his next sip of coffee. 11 days later, his company's finance team received a payment request from what looked like their CEO. $2.1 million. It was approved, and it was gone. It started with that click. 9 seconds. One link that he closed immediately. There is one belief that makes people more vulnerable than anything else, more than weak passwords, more than outdated software, more than anything. It is this: if I didn't download anything, I'm safe. Say that to the 1,500 employees of a UK engineering firm who lost access to their entire internal network after one person clicked a link and closed it without downloading a single file. Say that to the NHS hospital trust that had patient data exposed because a receptionist clicked what looked like a NHS staff portal link. No download, no attachment, just a click and a close. Here is what nobody tells you. When you click a link and that page loads, even for 2 seconds, even if you immediately close it, several things can already be happening. The attacker's server logs your IP address, your operating system version, your browser type, the exact time you clicked, whether your email is active, whether you are a real person worth targeting. In cybersecurity, this is called a beacon. You just told the attacker everything they needed to know. But that's just the beginning. If the link was crafted with a session token hijacking payload, your browser's stored authentication tokens, the ones that keep you logged into Gmail, Microsoft 365, your banking portal, can be silently read and copied. No password entered, no form submitted. You just visited a page, and they now have your session, which means they are now you on every platform your browser remembers. In 2023, Microsoft's threat intelligence team documented a campaign they called Storm 1167. Attackers sent what looked like standard Microsoft 365 login notifications. No malware, no zip files, no suspicious attachments. Just a link to what appeared to be a login page. Users clicked. Some entered credentials. But here's what shocked investigators. Even users who clicked and immediately closed without entering anything had their session cookies captured through an adversary in the middle proxy. The fake page loaded invisibly behind the real one, passed their credentials through, and kept a copy. The user saw a normal login page, completed their login normally, and never knew. Over 10,000 organizations were targeted in multiple countries: healthcare, finance, government, manufacturing. One link, no download. Thousands of compromised accounts. Back to Satya. What happened in those 11 days between his click and the $2.1 million transfer? The attackers had access to his email for 11 days. They read everything. They learned who the CEO was, what the payment approval process looked like, who had authority to authorize transfers, what language the CEO used in emails, how he signed off. They even knew the CEO was traveling that week, so they sent the finance team an email in the CEO's exact writing style, from a domain one letter different from the real one, approving an urgent vendor payment. $2.1 million. The finance team had no reason to question it. It matched everything they knew because the attackers had been reading their emails for 11 days. It started with one click, one closed tab, 9 seconds. Now let's talk about what you should actually do, because the response is different depending on where the email lands. If it's your personal inbox, pause. Look at the sender's full email address, not just the display name, the actual domain. If it says Microsoft, but the domain is Microsoft-support-verify-login.net, that is not Microsoft. Never click login links from emails. Always go directly to the official website. If you clicked a suspicious link already, change your passwords immediately. Enable two-factor authentication on every account. Check your active sessions and log out of all of them. Now, if it's your corporate email, do not click, do not forward, do not delete. Report it to your IT security team immediately, even if you think it's nothing, even if you feel embarrassed. One report from one employee has stopped full organizational breaches before. Your instinct to report is worth more than you think. 91%. That is the percentage of all cyber attacks that begin with a phishing email, not a technical exploit, not a zero-day vulnerability, a link in an email that someone clicked. The average time between that first click and a full network compromise is 1 hour 58 minutes, less than 2 hours, from one email to owning an entire organization. And the most chilling part, in 74% of cases, the victim didn't know anything had happened until it was far too late. Satya got his company's money back, partially, after 8 months of legal proceedings and a complete rebuild of their email infrastructure. He still works there, but he said something in an internal security training session that his company now puts on their awareness posters. I thought closing the tab was the same as never clicking. It isn't. The damage was done in the time it took me to blink. You now know what most people don't. Share this with someone who still believes that closing a tab is enough, because it isn't. This is the Digital Crime Vault. Every week, a real crime, a real victim, and the one thing that could have stopped it. If that matters to you, you know what to do.